Hello everyone, welcome to Bhadra IAS Academy. So in our quiz series, today we are having the 6th episode and we will discuss question number 51 to 60. So let us begin. Regarding the CNG, that is a compressed natural gas, which of the following statements are correct? The CNG does not produce any greenhouse gases. CNG is used in vehicles because of its high auto ignition temperature. So which of the two statements is correct or is anything wrong? Our options are A, 1 only, yeah, 2 only, yeah, both 1 and 2, yeah, neither 1 nor 2. So if you look at the answer, what is the answer for this question? So the answer is 2 only, right? Answer is B, 2 only. Why? So if you look at the explanation here, compressed natural gas produces greenhouse gases. It doesn't mean that it does not produce at all, but it emits significantly less than the traditional fuels like gasoline or diesel, whatever. Okay. The second option, CNG is used in vehicles because of its high auto ignition temperature, which makes it safer than other fuels. Yes. Okay. So only the statement 2 is correct. Therefore, the answer will be option B. That is only 2 only. Question number 52. Cloud computing is used to process time sensitive data, while edge computing is used to process data that is not time driven. Cloud computing is preferred over edge computing in remote locations. So our options are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, yeah, none of the above. So if we look at the statement, the correct answer would be 1 is also wrong, 2 is also wrong. So the none of the above, answer D will be the correct answer. Why? So I try to provide here explanation. Now edge computing processes data which is very close to the source. Okay. And therefore it is ideal for time sensitive and low latency applications. Therefore cloud computing is not really used for time sensitive analysis. So statement 1 is wrong. And statement 2 is also wrong. Cloud computing is preferred over the edge computing in remote location. In remote location, what happens? Edge computing is often preferred because it can process data locally without relying on the cloud connectivity. So statement 1 and both are wrong. Therefore, the correct answer would be none of the above, neither A nor B, yeah, neither 1 nor 2. Clear? Question number 53. Now this topic is very much discussed this year also, like the 200 years of celebration. If you see 1826, right, that is very important. So the Treaty of Yandobo resulted in what? Annexation of the Assam by the British East India Company, restoration of Ahom sovereignty, formation of the province of Eastern Bengal, yeah, establishment of the Kasi Confederacy. Which of the following is related, yeah, is the result of the Treaty of Yandobo? So if you look at the correct answer would be option A, right? That is the annexation of Assam by the British East India Company. So the treaty ended the first Anglo-Burmese war and brought Assam under the British control. Okay. Restoration of Ahom dynasty is incorrect because Ahom rule effectively that time came to an end. Formation of the province of Eastern Bengal, it occurred very later, and there is no such thing related to the Kasi Confederacy with this. Clear? So now this topic related to Yandobo Treaty this year is a probable question because 200 years are over. Okay, so that is the perspective in which we have to think about this. Question number 54. With reference to El Nino, consider the following statements. It is characterized by abnormal warming of sea surface temperature in central and eastern equatorial Pacific Ocean. It weakens water circulation It is generally associated with enhanced monsoon rainfall over India. So what is the correct answer, right? So our options are 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3, yeah, 1 and 3, yeah, 1, 2 and 3. So if you look at the correct answer is A, that is 1 and 2 only. Why? Because when there is a El Nino effect, monsoon is generally reduced, it is not enhanced. The question is here, whether rain is enhanced, monsoon is enhanced in India. It is not. We literally get a less rain, and also we feel a very warm, hot summer type of warmth increases, right? Therefore, El Nino is marked by abnormal warming of the central eastern equatorial Pacific Ocean, leading to weakening of the water circulation. But the point is, it gives below normal monsoon rainfall in India. Therefore, this year also our rain forecast is that we will have less rain, below normal rain. Why? Because of the El Nino effect. Question number 55. With reference to ocean currents, consider the following statements. Ocean currents help redistribute heat across the globe. Warm currents generally increase the temperature of adjacent coastal areas. Cold currents are often associated with rich fishing grounds due to upwelling. So the fish come up so that you can easily catch them. What is correct? So you have option 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, yeah, 1, 2 and 3. So if you look at here, the correct answer is D, that is 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer will be D, 1, 2 and 3. Why? Ocean currents play a crucial role in heat distribution, right? Because we have a cold current, warm currents. So the warm currents moderate coastal climate, and the cold currents support the fish. Okay, the fishing activity is very much supported by that. Therefore, all the statements are correct. These are what we can say the very basics of geography. So this kind of questions can be expected also in many of the competitive exams. Question number 56 regarding GST. GST is a destination based indirect tax. Export of goods and services are not liable to pay tax under GST. Petroleum products are partially exempted under GST. So what do we say? So if you look at it here, GST is a destination based tax, correct? Exports are generally called as a zero rated tax because government is considering the export as a zero rated tax under the GST. But petroleum is actually currently fully covered or partially covered. Petroleum actually remains outside the GST because petrol, diesel and all still outside the GST. Therefore, only statement 1 and 2 are correct. So the correct answer will be A. Clear? Okay, let's move to the question number 57. Consider the following statements regarding repo rate, right? When we talk about repo rate, it is the rate at which commercial banks borrow from RBI against eligible security or collateral. Repo rate is fixed by commercial banks independently. An increase in repo rate makes borrowing costlier. Which of the statements are correct? So if you see here, statement 1 and 2 are okay, but statements 1 and 3 are okay. But statement 2, whether commercial banks can fix the repo rate on their own independently, there is the problem. So now, therefore, we need to understand and also analyze each statement for getting the correct answer. So if we look at the statement 1 is correct, 3 correct, but statement 2 is not correct. Why? Repo rate is fixed by RBI, that is the Monetary Policy Committee. So the MPC, Monetary Policy Committee, decides the repo rate. It is not fixed by the bank. So what is the correct answer then? Correct answer is C, only 1 and 3. So remember, repo rate is a very important rate which normally also appears in many competitive exams even at the higher level. Question number 58. Consider the following statements regarding G7 Summit 2026, which is recently held just a day before. So the 2026 G7 Summit was hosted by France. India participated as a guest country but not as a member of G7. European Union is counted as the 8th permanent member of G7. Major agenda includes Ukraine war, Iran war, artificial intelligence, etc. Which are the statements are correct? So options are 1, 2 and 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3 and 4. That means all the statements are right? So now which are the statements are correct? That is our discussion. So now look at the answer. The answer for this will be A. That means what? 1, 2 and 4 are correct. Why? Because European Union is attending the meeting, but it is not a member of G7. It is not counted as a member of G7. That is the point. So we have to be very careful. So the European Union participates, but we cannot say that it is a member. That is where we have the problem. Statement number 3 is a difficulty. Clear? So the correct answer therefore would be 1, 2 and 4, because statement 3 will be a difficulty. It is not the correct option. So exam perspective, this G7 Summit 2026 is very important, because just one day ago the meeting came to an end and it is very much in the news. Question number 59. With reference to Assam Nagaland oil exploration MOU signed in June 2026, matlab this month, consider the following statements. So the government of Nagaland agreed to permit oil exploration across the entire state in addition to the 6 designated oil fields. Northeast has a lot of oil and gas reserves. The MOU is expected to increase the production by more than 10-fold than the current 1000 to 1500 barrel. So which of the statements are correct? So our options here, if you see, we have only 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3. Yeah, all the statements are correct. 1, 2 and 3. So let us look at the answer. So the correct answer is D. All the statements are correct. All the statements are correct. Why? Because Nagaland recently signed a MOU allowing the entire state for exploration, and Northeast has lot of oil and gas reserves, and also this MOU will increase the production. So the production might increase 10-fold according to government official news submitted by the Ministry of Home Affairs along with the Petroleum Ministry. Okay, so all the statements are correct, and it is very significant because Assam Nagaland border area has been a tension filled area, but now this MOU will also bring peace and economic progress. Question number 60. This is also very much a current topic in discussion. So this is related to geography about the location. The Strait of Hormuz connects Persian Gulf with the Gulf of Oman and the Arabian Sea. It is bordered on the north and the west by Iran and on the south by Oman and UAE. Nearly 1/5 of the world's oil consumption from the Middle East transit through it. Now the Strait of Hormuz is governed by United Nations Convention on the Laws of the Sea, and the coastal countries cannot regulate it. What do you say? So this is the current issue. So also important thing here is the statement 4, whether it comes under the UN convention or it is having some control for the countries which are near the coastal area. So the statement, if you see, statement 4 is wrong. Why? According to the United Nations laws on the sea, the country which are near the sea border, they have the right, the exclusive economic zone is also given. Therefore, navigation is not exclusively covered by the United Nations laws on the sea. Clear? So, statement number 4 is wrong. Therefore, the correct statements are 1, 2 and 3. So, the answer would be A. So, now when we are talking about the Hormuz, very much it is in discussion in the news for the last 3 months. So we need to be familiar with certain technical and legal terms as well. Okay. So if you are looking for any further query, you need more MCQs or you need to have study material, contact Bhadra IAS Academy at 8638391721 for all the exams preparation, competitive exams, ADRE, forest ranger, any type of exam you need to prepare, you can contact us for any multiple choice questions or study material or even coaching. Okay, so keep watching. We will meet you in the next video. Thank you.